Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil.
Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast of the day. Today we're going to be talking about accountability relationships and how they go hand in hand. Why is accountability so important in our relationships? Let's just get into it. When I look back at everything that I've had, people I've dated, the one biggest turnoff that I've seen, especially in men and even in my girlfriends actually, is that they don't hold themselves accountable for the failure of their relationship or for anything that tends to go wrong in it. So what I mean is that when we feel like we're accountable or when we're actually honing in on our own actions, our own thoughts, our own everything, we're then actually being responsible for the result of everything that we do. So what I mean is that when you hold yourself accountable, you're not just holding yourself accountable to the actions that you do, but actually the end result. If you have a fire going on, the fire department is not going to come to your house, follow an instruction manual, and then leave while the fire is still on. No, they're going to come, they're going to turn the fire off, and they're going to think that, hey, we are accountable for making sure that this fire is off, and it's not going to come and burn the rest of the street down. Hopefully, that's what we would want from our firemen. When we think of how we're accountable in relationships, we're really holding ourselves accountable for what we do, and with the intention of how the other person will feel with what we do and what we truly mean by what we do. So, in my example, if I'm holding myself accountable, that means when I say things that are going to hurt my partner, I do hold myself accountable then to how I make them feel. I don't do that all the time. I'm actually kind of terrible at it. But looking at how I can even be more accountable in my life and more accountable in my relationships, that's definitely the first step to go. I always thought that, and I do think that you aren't 100% accountable for how your partner feels. However, you are accountable for how you make them feel with your tone or what you do or what you say, especially after so many times, in my case, of being a little stingy, of maybe saying things hidden undercover, and I didn't even know I was doing it, mainly because I was just defensive the whole time. But overall, making yourself accountable in your relationships, and especially when you get into them, a lot of us get into a relationship and we don't really hold ourselves accountable to what will happen or how we're making the other person feel or the fact that we're dragging them on forever and we have no intention of really even being with them or staying. Hold yourself accountable, and if you're not accountable in your life, chances are you're not going to be accountable in your relationship. One way to look at it and to know how accountable you can hold yourself to is by looking at your job, your career growth, your school, your education. When you look at aspects in your life and where you're at today, do you think you hold yourself accountable for your decisions? Are you looking at them and thinking, okay, I effed up, I invested too much in the stock, but ultimately it was my fault, I could do better next time, I didn't read what I should have? Or do you play the blame game? And by that is, are you blaming other people? Are you looking at other ways? Oh, it's my fault, I wasn't smart enough, no one taught me. Really playing the blame game and taking accountability off you by making it situational. First thing to do is to never do that. As soon as you stop doing that, you really take control and power of your own life. That's kind of how I ended up doing everything I did in my life, how I managed to overcome my challenges. And it's really by taking too much accountability at times, but taking accountability will not only make you more of a leader, it will make you gain respect, and it will have your partner look at you in a different way. No one wants to be with anyone who's not going to be accountable of their own decisions or of their actions, or who is really a puppet to 10 other people. That's the most unattractive thing for any girl. If her guy is on, like, literally a puppet for his family, for his friends, for everyone else, including maybe even her, how do you know if he's going to be loyal to you and not to X, Y, and Z if he can't even be accountable to him, his wants, his needs, and ultimately you two as a couple? I think when we're looking at us in a couple, one thing to really, really think about is that when you're in a relationship, you are accountable as being a decent partner. A lot of us forget this, and we only realize it too late in when the marriage ended or the 5-year, 10-year relationship ended. Then we look back and we think, wow, okay, I was accountable for A, B, and C, and there were things that I could have actually done. Maybe she was right to nag me a few times. Maybe I could have stayed home more. Maybe I shouldn't have been out with my buddies drinking all the time. There are things that we can all be accountable for, and we should hold ourselves more accountable to our partners. A lot of us learn to not do this. Once again, we're all individuals. We're taught by society to be individualistic, to think of us, to think of our career, to think of our growth, which I'm not saying don't. Be accountable to your own growth and who you need to be, but also be accountable in your relationships. And as soon as we start doing that, not only can we have healthier relationships because we are becoming more vulnerable, we are accepting the fact that you are impacting that human being and that human being is impacting you, whether you like it or not. So why not hold ourselves accountable to fostering and holding a healthy relationship and making sure that whatever we have is working not only for you, but also for them. It's really good to have check-in points with each other at times. See, are you on goal? Are you on track? You can't really hold yourself accountable to something unless you have a goal or a milestone or something there that you two are going forward to, that you two are working on. You guys can be accountable towards each other by ensuring that you're growing, by helping each other out in your dreams and your passions. You can hold each other accountable to completing that essay that you have to do, or finishing that master's degree that you want to do. You can also hold yourself accountable to cleaning up the dishes after you're done, or Jenny needs to mow the lawn maybe, or Phil needs to do the laundry. Hold yourself accountable to your promises. One thing that I do, which drives my current partner crazy, is that I take his things and I put them around the house, and he can never find where he put his goddamn keys. He can't find where he put the piece of paper, which tells us when our power outage is going to be over with, which drove him crazy today. He can't find his glasses when he's driving and he needs them. And it is my fault a little bit. And today I really did realize that I need to hold myself more accountable to putting things back for him, because they really do bother him. Know how your partner feels. Really hone in on that. And you two, whoever you are, or whatever relationship you want to be in, or even relationship that you're seeking for, hold yourself accountable for your own decisions, for how you're even doing in your relationship. And instead of maybe going off and cheating because you know what, you've already given up in your relationship, hold yourself accountable for the fact that it's not going so well, and there are things that you need to do to improve it, especially if you two decide to marry and you made a promise to each other to make it work for death or for life or whatever you guys do. So accountability, in overall summary for you, not only covers you and your aspect of life and you ensuring that you're going after your goals and dreams and that you're happy, but also in your relationship. Are you holding yourself accountable to ensuring that you have a healthy relationship, that you two are getting counseling if you need it, that you are trying to make each other happy, that you're fulfilled with each other? It is so important for you to do that, because no relationship just happens and stays for no reason. It takes a lot of work. And that's why, for me, I decided to not be in one for a very, 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 very long time, because the amount of work that it takes is time consuming. I didn't want it for my younger years. I wanted to grow. I wanted to be very selfish. But if you want to be in a relationship, there is no room really for being super, super, super selfish. If you do, you're going to have two independent lives. It won't be as fulfilling perhaps, but there is a point of give and take where you do both need to be accountable for each other. Those are my thoughts for today. Let me know what you think about accountability and how it applies for your relationship. As always, bye-bye.